The gentleman from Georgia, Mr. Loudermilk.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for being here today. And I trust you received the letter I sent on September 28th with most of the Republicans regarding the SIFI regulations, and I'm looking forward to your response soon. And my questioning is going to be around that area. Do regional banks with less than $250 billion in assets currently pose a systemic risk to the economy?
I would say with the current configuration of their activities, none of them individually does now.
Okay. And that's my feeling, and especially working with a lot of the banks, especially regional banks back home. And I agree. I think with most of the data the Fed has, it shows they don't pose a systemic risk. And so some of the concerns, and I appreciate my colleague bringing up CECL, is it appears that there may be a pro-cyclical effect that CECL may have, in that incentivizing making loans in a strong economy but decentivizing those loans in a downward economy. I understand maybe you have the same feelings about that you mentioned in the speech. Can you elaborate?
So I think that we need to understand much better than we do what the effects of CECL would be, both the so-called day one effects and then the longer term effects, including effects during a period of stress. We've gotten a lot of input already with respect to that would be, but a lot of it points in different directions, which is one of the reasons why we have said that for how CECL reserving relates to our capital requirements, we're going to phase that in so that we can have more experience with how it actually operates in practice before it actually begins to essentially add to the loss absorbency with our capital regime. So we will be studying that and phasing it in over time so we can see how that works, because I think there's a lot that we don't really know.
Okay, and I appreciate that. Last question, and actually looks like I may have a little time to reserve back for once. Some of the banks that I talk to back home have concerns that if the Federal Reserve banks will actually abide by the changes to the SIFI regulation when they're supervising banks, the concern that it may not flow, these changes may not flow all the way down. Can you commit that will happen with these updated changes?
Yeah, we're devoting a lot of resources to ensure that that these supervisory messages flow throughout the system. As you can appreciate, that is a lot of work. It's not a question of turning on a switch, but it is work that we're very much engaged in.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.